Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video. In this episode, we're heading down to Florida to take a look at one of my newly discovered favorite judges, someone who has absolutely zero patience for nonsense in the courtroom. This judge is especially entertaining when dealing with so-called sovereign citizens and their imaginary legal theories, including those bizarre homemade license plates they like to use. And when I say this judge doesn't tolerate nonsense, I mean it in the most direct way possible. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about in just a moment. Because the situation we're about to watch features a level of straightforward courtroom control that perfectly illustrates why this judge has quickly become a standout figure in these types of cases.
You're now the attorney in fact for this state name.
No, sir, Mr. Thompson, you know I don't put up with any of that. You understand?
Right.
Listen to me.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You understand I'm not going to put up with that?
Yes, sir.
Not anything like that. You understand? Do you understand me?
Yes.
There's not going to be any private citizen, sovereign citizen, any of that. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Judge Clark came very close to making a significant mistake in this moment. He nearly asked the defendant to openly confirm, on the official record, that he had been driving without a valid license. If the defendant had answered yes, and that statement was later used against him, it could have given this individual just enough leverage to argue that his rights were violated. In a scenario like that, he might have tried to challenge the conviction and claim it should be dismissed. It was a brief slip, but one that could have created a real legal complication.
For the court today for your affidavit of violation of probation, you filed a bunch of stuff that doesn't make any sense. I've denied most of it. I'm going to probably deny the rest of it.
Really?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Absolutely.
I got some education to go, huh?
Sir?
So I've got some education to go.
Yes, sir. You're here today by, you got a new law violation of driving my license suspended or revoked. You don't want to have an attorney appointed to represent you?
No, sir.
Are you sure?
But that's the thing is, I've never even been pulled over. I don't know how I got a license or a warrant or anything. If haven't been pulled over in more than a year, any emergency contact. I went to go pick up a records request and they gave me a warrant instead of the records.
Do y'all know anything about this?
As to the new law.
Do you have a driver's license?
No, sir.
Don't answer that. I shouldn't ask that question.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Strike that from the record. I won't do that if you won't do any other mess. I won't ask you that question.
In this situation, it seems that the individual in question drove to the records office to obtain some documents. And during that visit, it was discovered that he had been operating a vehicle without a valid license. Because of that, a citation was issued to him afterward. That particular violation is serious enough to potentially trigger a probation violation, which could carry significant consequences. However, Judge Clark is taking a measured approach. Instead of immediately imposing penalties, he is allowing the defendant to resolve the citation and any related issues in county court first. Only after those matters are addressed will the judge decide whether additional consequences, such as jail time or a full revocation of probation, are appropriate. The next case on the docket is simply an arraignment, so it moves quickly, but it still provides a clear look at how the courtroom handles preliminary procedures. Despite being brief, it sets the stage for how efficiently the court keeps things moving.
But you transfer that to the judge?
Just filed. I just filed in the court file.
I tried to, and they wouldn't accept it.
All right. Was he arrested? Is there a new arrest for driving license suspended or revoked? State?
Yes, there was a bench warrant issued on 1/23/24 that's executed 1/29/24.
But I was just doing a records request and had an agreed upon date to pick it up. Went up there to pick it up and gave me a warrant. So the records are requested.
I tell you what, I'm gonna let y'all
Return
do
that?
that. Listen, I'm gonna leave him on probation. I'm gonna set this for preliminary on April. What's that April date?
April 17th.
April 17th. I'm gonna let him take care of that in county court and see what happens. Okay?
Thank you.
And I think that's the only violation he had.
Yes, sir.
Keep doing what you're doing on this, and then we'll see you back in April, and you can take care of that in county court. Okay?
Right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sign a notice.
Personally, I prefer a straightforward approach. If someone refuses to identify themselves, then they're choosing to be taken into custody. And if they do provide identification, but it turns out they violated the terms of their probation, then remaining in custody is simply the consequence of their own actions. Now, moving ahead, the next two hearings on the docket are noticeably more involved. The first is a probable cause hearing featuring a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen named Lars, who decides to represent himself. As you might expect, this decision does not work in his favor. His attempts to argue unconventional legal theories fall apart quickly, and the situation becomes a clear example of why courtroom procedure and trained legal representation matter.
State your name, sir.
The beneficiary, Cedric Alexander, a human being.
Mr. Alexander, I don't accept any of that. If you want to state your name, state your name. If you don't, that's fine.
I'm Cedric Alexander, the beneficiary, sir.
No, sir, I don't. The beneficiary doesn't mean anything to me. It says, are you Cedric Alexander?
I'm a human being, Cedric Alexander, not the corporation.
What don't be held with that?
I'm a human being, not a participant.
On your first appearance, I'm going to appoint the Office of Public Defender. You've got a failure to appear on a misdemeanors. I have ordered to be held without bond on that. I'm going to leave that as it is. You got a possession of methamphetamine and see, that might be all the same thing. Yeah, you just got a failure to appear.
The officer didn't even come and do depositions because there's a lot.
You got to drive my license, suspended or vote. I'm gonna find there's probable cause. I'm gonna set. That's a third degree felony, plus 5 years in Florida Department of Corrections.
You cannot drive, sir.
I am going to set a $5,000 bond. I'll see you March 11th at 9 o'clock. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
All right, go ahead and step out for me.
Honestly, I thought I had heard every unusual argument a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen could come up with, but this one was entirely new. The so-called Treaty of Florida, also known historically as the Adams-Onis Treaty, is a real agreement, but it simply concerns the transfer of Spanish territory to the United States back in 1819. It has absolutely nothing to do with granting someone a fictional right to travel in what he calls his road canoe. And speaking of travel, I've watched hundreds of videos from people who refer to themselves as travelers. And I can confidently say I've only encountered one who truly fits that description. 2 weeks ago, I found myself poking fun at travelers in Dublin. The week after that, it was Amsterdam. This week, I'm in Prague doing exactly the same thing. Next week, I'll be heading to Vienna, and after that, I'll wrap up the tour in Madrid, and none of these trips would have been possible without today's sponsor, Exter. If you've been following the channel for any length of time, you've probably heard me mention Exter before, especially their smart wallets with built-in tracking features. But today, I'm not here to talk about their wallets. When I mentioned that I'd be traveling through Europe again, Exter insisted on sending me their new travel duffel bag backpack hybrid. This thing is designed for versatility. You can carry it like a duffel or wear it as a backpack. And it's TSA approved for carry-on use. That means you won't have to worry about airport staff accidentally sending your belongings on an unexpected vacation to another continent. It's surprisingly spacious, too large enough to fit everything a frequent traveler needs. There's even a dedicated compartment for essential documents such as identification, a passport, and any travel paperwork you might need. On screen, you can see the comparison between unpacking my old bag and then reorganizing everything into the new Exter travel pack. The difference in space is immediately noticeable. There's a remarkable amount of extra room, making packing far simpler and far less chaotic than before. If you're interested, check out the link in the description to visit my partner's website. Use the code SKEPTIC at checkout for an additional discount on top of the partner pricing. A big thank you to Exter for sponsoring this video. Now, with that taken care of, let's get back to our regularly scheduled content.
Preliminary adversarial hearing, you're representing yourself. You know, at any point in time, you can ask an attorney to be appointed to represent you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you still wish to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Lovin, you can call your first witness.
The state calls officer Zip. Richard Zip.
All right. Just swear the witness in.
I do.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
Richard Ziff,
Were you employed?
Panel City Police Department.
Were you working in November of 2023?
I was.
On November 11th, 2023, did you have occasion to come in contact with defendant Josiah Beecham?
I was.
How did you come in contact with him?
It was an investigative stop. Mr. Beecham's vehicle was having a hard time maintaining its lane. I conducted a traffic stop on the vehicle. Vehicle drove over the curb. Immediately when I stopped the vehicle, I can smell marijuana coming from within the vehicle while still sitting inside my own vehicle. As I got closer to the vehicle, I can smell the marijuana getting stronger. When I made contact with Mr. Beecham in the driver's seat, I informed him the nature of the stop, also told him I smelled marijuana in the vehicle. At that point, Mr. Beecham was saying I was violating the Treaty of Florida, making other statements that he was not driving, he was traveling.
I think what you meant is that his brilliant insight must have been tucked safely beneath that travel pad he was using as a makeshift headrest. But now, I believe it's time for us to finally release this extraordinary mind from its imaginary cage and allow it to soar freely, even if its first destination appears to be a head-on collision with a very solid steel fan. There's a certain elegance to watching someone confidently unleash an idea that was clearly not ready for daylight. It's like observing a rare bird take flight only to immediately remember it never learned how wings work. And yet, there's something strangely captivating about it. You can't look away, even though you know exactly how it's going to end. So, with that in mind, let's step aside and give this innovative thought process the runway it needs. The results may not be graceful, and they certainly won't be logical, but they will be unforgettable. And in the world of sovereign citizen courtroom theatrics, that's pretty much all you can ask for.
And at one point, I asked him to identify himself. He refused to identify himself. He began to call 911 and requested a Bay County deputy respond to the scene because he refused to cooperate with me.
Officer Zip, at some point, based on the smell of marijuana, did you search the vehicle and Mr. Beecham's person?
I did.
During that search, did you locate anything of note, of significance?
We found trafficking amounts of controlled substances. I believe we were, one of them tested positive for cocaine. There was marijuana, and we believe fentanyl.
Did you find any firearms during the search?
There was a firearm located underneath the driver's seat that Mr. Beecham was sitting on.
What's truly remarkable about this situation is that he clearly has enough mental capacity to pronounce every word correctly. The issue isn't vocabulary, it's coherence. He seems to have just enough cognitive gears to start the engine, but not quite enough to keep it running in a straight line. What I'm trying to say is this. He's aware enough of the law to confidently assert that his Fourth Amendment rights were violated. The problem is that he can't actually explain how they were violated. And the reason he can't explain it is simple. At no point did I hear anything resembling an actual example, a factual basis, or even a vaguely structured argument. It's as if he grabbed a legal term out of thin air, tossed it into the conversation, and hoped it would magically work in his favor. The end result is a claim that sounds official, but dissolves instantly the moment anyone asks a follow-up question. It's like watching someone begin a sentence with conviction and then immediately lose the plot halfway through, leaving the rest of us wondering what point they were trying to make in the first place.
A criminal records check on Mr. Beecham.
We did.
Did you find out whether he had been previously convicted of any felonies?
He was on inmate release status for a felony. I believe the same charges.
No, that's all my questions at this time.
Mr. Beecham, any questions?
Yes. So did I have a passenger in the car with me at the time?
You did.
Upon you saying you smelled the smell of marijuana, did I say that I smoked hemp?
You did admit to it.
I said I smoked hemp, right?
You said you smoked marijuana.
Sir, did you have on a body cam?
I did.
And okay, thank you, Your Honor. So your body cam was on at the time, and did you get any competent basis on the traffic stop as far as like a recording of that video?
I don't have a dash cam.
You don't have a dash cam in your car?
We don't have dash cams in Panama City police cars.
It's cool. And that was failing to maintain the lane. Okay, was it any other traffic on the road?
You were the only vehicle.
Okay, and how long were you behind me before you actually pulled me over?
I was behind you about 2 blocks. Watched you drift over the center line several times.
Several times, drift off the line. Did you have to catch up to me? You know, I have a dash cam and rear view cam. I'm probably gonna introduce the Did you actually have to catch up to my vehicle, or?
I did not have to catch up that much. I was right behind you.
I'm saying that the stretch of the road was we was traveling on Beach Drive. That's right.
Yes.
And you were behind me the entire stretch of Beach Drive?
No, I was behind you by Balboa.
By Balboa is when you got behind me. Okay, and so when did you notify me or the passenger about any of the drugs or gun?
Immediately.
Immediately? And what was said about the drugs or gun? What did the passenger say?
The gun was found after you were already detained. We searched the vehicle and it was underneath your seat.
Okay, and was the vehicle registered to me?
The vehicle was registered to your girlfriend.
Okay. And so where were the drugs or anything found in the vehicle?
You had drugs in your pocket. And there was also drugs in the back seat behind your seat.
And you found the drugs?
I found a bag of white substance in your right front pocket.
What about any vehicles in the car?
There was a bag in behind the driver's seat that had several other bags that were wrapped in a clear plastic baggies that was behind your seat.
Okay, and so what did you question the passenger on?
That would be my partners who questioned the passenger. I questioned you.
Yes, and what did I admit to any of the drugs?
You refused to talk to me other than saying I was violating the Treaty of Florida.
Exactly. And so you notified me on drugs being found in the car on the scene, you're saying?
Everything was notified to you. I tried reading you implied consent. You refused to actually listen to me. You kept on saying I was violating the Treaty of Florida and you.
Yeah, I was saying you was violating the constitutional rights as well of unreasonable search and seizure.
All right. That brings us to the end of the third video. Judge Clark found probable cause exactly as the circumstances warranted. And the next time we'll be seeing this individual in court will be in mid-April. Now it's time to move on to the fourth case, which is a full 3-day trial. It begins with the defendant and his attorney attempting to argue why an improper license tag should be allowed as evidence. To be fair, the defense attorney puts in an admirable amount of effort. But he's up against Judge Clark, and Judge Clark is essentially immovable when it comes to sovereign citizen-style reasoning. He doesn't bend, he doesn't waver. And he's certainly not letting any creative reimagining of the law slip through without scrutiny. We're about to see exactly how that plays out as the trial unfolds.
A direct quote on why you actually stopped the vehicle.
His all body came up.
Okay. And so you never had a conversation with the passenger?
I was mostly talking to you and searching the vehicle. I believe my sergeants wanted to talk to Mr. Wheeler.
Okay, and so you saying your passengers, your other one of your partners found the drugs that was actually in the car?
I found drugs in the vehicle.
Oh, you found the drugs in the vehicle?
Yes.
Behind the driver's seat, you're saying?
And the objection. Ask your next question.
Okay. And you did already admit that I said I admitted to smoking hemp. Okay. your vehicle is not, you say they don't got dash cams. Okay, so at the time, did you have a sight on the passenger and the driver at the whole time?
I was right there behind the A pillar or B pillar.
What was that, sir?
I was there the entire time talking to you.
No, okay, so when you extracted me out the car, did you have eyes on the passenger at that time?
After I removed you from the car, I did not have eyes on the passenger, just you.
Okay, cool. And so, in your report, you never wrote a ticket for the failing to maintain lanes, nor did you mention it in your affidavit of complaint.
It's going to be in my report, the narrative on the case.
Well, I mean, this was the probable cause, and this was the immediate review. So is it
Sustained. Ask a question.
okay? Is it a reason why you didn't mention it in your affidavit of complaint?
The affidavit only shows PC for why we arrested you. It doesn't state in there why I had to stop you. It just shows in there why I arrested you. And in regards to you maintaining a lane, that goes back to the DUI, which does not go on the complaint. That goes on the traffic ticket.
Well, I mean, you never mentioned anything of that nature in the ticket, so I was just wondering, is that protocol for you not to explain in the affidavit of complaint?
It's going to be in the report.
Okay, and you say you had a body camera on again, that's correct?
That's the nature.
Sustain the objection. Ask your next question.
Okay, and so was it possible for any of the drugs to be the passenger?
It was all in your control. It was within your reach, behind your seat, and then you had drugs in your right front pocket.
I said, was it possible to be the passengers?
It could be possible, but the same drug that was in your right front pocket was also in that bag behind your seat.
What drug was in my right front pocket?
Cocaine.
And about how much was that?
You had a bag that was wrapped in your front pocket.
About how much?
I don't have the numbers on me right now. I have my report in front of me.
Okay. This is a copy of your report.
That's actually not my report. That's the affidavit complaint. My report's about 5 pages long.
Okay. And so you seized the vehicle for failing to maintain a lane. You said, was any other traffic affected by the occurrence?
You were the only one on the road. You had a failure to maintain your lane several times and you drove over the curb.
What curve, actually?
The curb I stopped you at, I believe it was on Fairland.
Okay. Beyond at this time, I don't have any more questions.
Okay. Is any redirect from the state?
No, Your Honor.
And the witness be excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you can go about your day.
Either.
Anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Beecham?
Your Honor, there's no actual competent and substantial evidence in the affidavit of complaint, nor was it any ticket issued for the actual, failing to maintain a lane, so, I mean, being that it was immediately after the arrest, I don't see how he had probable cause to stop me. And I actually asked him for, the sheriffs to verify that, hoping that he had a dash cam in his car.
Whether a traffic ticket was issued or not is irrelevant.
Yeah, it was.
I am going to find there's probable cause for the arrest. And I believe that's what I'm here today to do as far as the adversarial preliminary hearing. So I found there's probable cause. We'll need another court hearing.
Do we have this transcribed?
You can file a motion to have it transcribed, yes, sir. We need to set another hearing. You understand, Mr. Beecham, at any point in time that you ask for an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you meet the financial requirements. You want to set up for another pretrial? Beecham? Let's set it for April 18th at 9.
Now that's a pretty weak excuse. Because even in states where the law requires you to find a safe place to pull over when a police officer activates their lights, the wording is clear. You must stop as soon as it's safely possible. What the law does not say is that you can drive around aimlessly, scouting for the busiest or most crowded area in town before finally deciding to pull over. That kind of reasoning completely misses the point of the statute, which is about stopping promptly to ensure safety for both the driver and everyone else on the road.
Number 23 CF 3817, Mr. Baker's present in the courtroom, appropriately dressed, with Mr. Meredith and Mr. Paul, State Attorney Mr. Pereira, and Mr. Sullivan are also present. Deputy Dexter, we have all the jurors present?
They are present. They are. We had two that were in the restroom, then they'll be brought upstairs.
All right, very good. All right, anything we need to take up prior to bringing the jurors in?
Yes, Your Honor. After meeting with Mr. Baker yesterday, he expressed an interest in representing himself today again. So I don't know if he wants to. I'm not sure whether he wants to represent himself or not, because the state is, the second thing I would address is the state has filed a motion in limine that we object to. Depending on the ruling there, I'm not sure if that will affect Mr. Baker's decision.
All right, well, let's take it the motion in limine right now. It's the motion in limine. Mr. Pereira, you filed it?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is moving, Your Honor, to exclude testimony of two things. First is testimony of the legality of his license plate, or any sort. My understanding is that Mr. Meredith intended to elicit testimony about the origin of the license plate. We feel that probable cause is enough already with the rolling stop, that it would be irrelevant. The defendant is no longer in charge of any type of traffic offense. They're not legal defenses to the charge that he's brought with fleeing to, eluding, in the possession of drugs.
Your Honor, the state intends to introduce some body cam from Officer Elkins as in relation to the original stop. And Mr. Baker has his hands out of the window and is talking to the officer about what the reason for the stop is. There is a tag that's on there. In the edited version of the body cam, it is mentioned that the two reasons for the stop were rolling through a stop sign and either, I can't remember if it was bad tag or no tag or whatever. But I think that it's important for the jury to understand that the origin of this tag and what it represented. I, as an officer of the court and under the rules of the bar, I don't believe I could argue that it is a valid tag, but I think the origin of it is important for the.
It's not a valid tag. What does it matter what origin or the origin of this?
Well,
I'm not going down that road,
Mr. Baker felt that it was a legal tag.
Was it issued from the Department of Motor Vehicles from the state of Florida?
It was not.
Or the tax collector's office? It's not a legal tag.
If you'd like to see a photocopy of what it is.
It's a tag, yeah.
My tag is from the deal. It's a DOT number because my tag belongs to my trust. My DOT number is valid. So why wouldn't the tag be?
Nope, not going in. We're not going to talk about it.
Can I put anything on the record?
You can put it on the record, but I'm telling you, I'm not anything that's not a legal tag from the state of from one of the states of the United States, or I guess
it is. You got the information yesterday. He emailed you the information where the tag came from and what was going on with the tag.
Your Honor,
I can't have a custom tag.
Let Mr. Meredith make your argument, sir, please.
Your Honor, the number that's contained on the tag, the 412-5492, is a Department of Transportation number that is assigned to Mr. Baker. I have gone on their website, you can search that number, and when you do, it comes up with Mr. Baker's name, his address, and all his information. Now, depending on what we're allowed to do, his testimony would be as how he had obtained this and had gone through and got it from a third party in New Jersey. And because it had the Department of Transportation logo, which is the actual logo from the Department of Transportation, and it had his actual identifying number from the United States Department of Transportation, that he could display it.
Is it a legal valid tag? Can you make that argument?
Yes. I cannot.
Okay, it's not coming in.
We have to run the tag number.
It's not coming in, it's not on the record, and also the state's not charged him with a improper tag.
Exactly. I don't even have a ticket for anything that they quote me